I'm sure at some point in GT Online, this has happened to you. You get into a fight with someone, you try and kill them, and they just do not die. Here's another example. The guy is getting pelted with friggin' rockets, and he won't go down. Why? God mode glitches. They have been a pain in the GTA community for years now. No matter what platform you're on, PC, PS4, Xbox, does not matter. God mode glitches are there. Rockstar have tried to patch these glitches, but there's always workarounds. Usually within like a day or two of the original glitch being patched. So clearly something is wrong with these God mode glitches, and Rockstar can't find a way to deal with them. But that's okay, because a GT Online modder actually figured it out. This is how to fix God mode glitches in GTA Online. Now, what some people do, and look, you could definitely go down this route, is you troll them back. You have a God mode glitcher, just infinitely run him over until he quits the game or something, or leaves your lobby. That though is only a temporary solution, and most of the time you're not going to find the God mode glitchers just walking around. They'll be in a jet, or they'll be in some sort of vehicle causing chaos. Well, the theory to sort of fix these God mode abusers is, what if instead of taking away the God mode, you took away the ability for them to actually do anything with God mode? So there was this pretty big post on the GTA forums by Tez2, one of the GTA Online leakers. He just dabbled, I guess, in some modding stuff. He came up with a pretty awesome solution, I think, to this God mode abuser problem. So a little background on how these God mode glitches even happen. There are these strings in the game when you enter certain interiors or like during a cutscene that set you invincible. And a very simplified explanation of the actual glitches is they use this, but in areas Rockstar normally don't allow it. So instead of being invincible only in like interiors and in cutscenes, the glitch allows you to become invincible everywhere in the game. So it's a legitimate feature of the game for God mode to exist, but the glitchers take that feature and implement it everywhere. But as we'll find out, it seems like there's a pretty easy way to fix this. He started the post with this paragraph, just basically saying to test out his theory, he used a mod menu that basically told you if you were in God mode. Then he says, before going further, you have to keep in mind, he's not fixing anything here. He's actually taking what Rockstar came up with to detect cheaters on PC and pushing it a bit further. So this is stuff that's already in the game. This is stuff that Rockstar themselves have actually implemented. He says the devs who came up with this code made sure to reduce the risk of false positives, to include as many checks as possible. This will all make a lot more sense in a second when we take a look at some footage. He does mention that the most important thing, you have to be shooting someone or something. You can't shoot inside interiors, so that doesn't really matter. But what he's talking about, let's take a look at the footage. Here was a clip that he provided where he's in online, he's in a free mode session. You can see the mod menu he's using is telling him that he's in God mode. That's what it says above his character. Watch what happens the second he starts shooting. He loses the God mode. And that's because this solution is a pretty clever one that doesn't exactly patch the God mode itself. It just patches someone abusing it. Here's another clip of the same thing. He starts off in God mode in free roam, and the second he shoots, he loses the God mode. Now, he mentioned in the paragraph the whole like checks. That's where Rockstar would need to make sure everything obviously works properly. You don't want to be taking off God mode when someone's in an interior and then they die to someone or something somehow. But again, considering this is something that Rockstar, like it's already in the game. It's something Rockstar has implemented before, but for cheaters, they would just be doing that and reusing that same sort of system, but for God mode abusers. And you can see, now this is a clip, he was in a mission, and I guess God mode would still work in a mission. I don't think Rockstar would like that, but for whatever reason, he's in a mission here. He's shooting. He still has God mode. He mentioned interiors. The only place that you can actually shoot guns interiors legitimately is in the gun running bunker, the weapon sort of range here. And because it's an interior, you're still going to have like the God mode on. But really, none of those affect other people, because if you're in a mission and you have God mode, if you're in an interior and you have God mode, you can't really abuse people in those scenarios. So It's mainly for free roam. I think this is going to be a huge benefit if Rockstar decide to go through with it. I do think this is probably the best way to fix the God mode glitches, because as we all know, and I think Rockstar should know this by now, the God mode glitches are not going anywhere. They're always going to be in the game. People will find ways to go into God mode. So this, I think, is the best solution. You basically have a detection system that detects you're in God mode, but the second you start shooting, you lose it, no matter what you're doing. And of course, this, what he posted was just sort of a theory or like a trial run at this idea. And he says there's still room for polishing this up. There's also ways to get around this because, of course, shooting isn't the only thing in the game. People could throw sticky bombs, installing a bomb in a car. I would imagine maybe this means if you're in like a jet, maybe that doesn't count, although it's still shooting technically, so maybe it does. And of course, again, it doesn't really patch the God mode glitches since the glitcher would remain in God mode as long as he's not shooting. So I guess there is potentially still ways for them to troll people, but if they're not shooting, if they're just in God mode, you know, going around, like he mentions, the less freedom these glitchers have would be better. And I don't think many people would really care if there's just a guy going around in God mode if he's not really annoying you. Like if someone's in God mode and they can't shoot at you and they can't kill you really, then does it really matter? In my opinion, no, it doesn't. Let him have his fun in God mode if it doesn't affect me. And then the final thing he did mention was that this wasn't actually a proper solution. It's more of a temporary measure that could actually be added via background update. But in my opinion, I think this is sort of a proper solution because it's clear that Rockstar is never getting rid of these God mode glitchers. And if it could be added via background update, it doesn't sound like it would be too big of a thing to do, at least from Rockstar's perspective. But I'd be curious to hear anyone else's thoughts in the comment section. I guess number one, how often do you come across these God mode glitches? I know in console, it's probably a lot more prevalent. On PC, people just have mod menus and that's just a whole nother thing. But I do know, I have read a lot of people complaining about God mode jet abusers, especially because the jets are pretty overpowered in the game. And of course, if there's a God mode person inside, then they're just unstoppable. But the other thing I would like to know is, do you think this is a good solution? Instead of removing God mode, just make it so where they can't shoot. Like imagine the guy's in God mode, but he's in a jet. The second he starts shooting the jet, all right, you're out of God mode. The game recognizes it, kicks him out, and then he can get killed. And if it's as easy as Tez2 is saying here in this post, I think this might be the way to go. But again, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA content. Hit that bell button to be notified when I upload newer videos. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.